Brahma Gururvishnu Gururdevo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Gurudev. Welcome to the third session of understanding the rationale and ritual of Gayatri Yagna. In the past two classes, we have learnt about what is Gayatri and what is Yagna. The initial process of offering our gratitude to the gods and the purification process. The next step in the would be the energizing of our body, able to invoke all the divine energies so that we can continue with the yajna. So after the purification process, now comes the energizing process. The first process, the first ritual of energizing is called Shikha Vandana. Shikha is the location. We all know what a Shikha is. Shikha is a tuft of hair that we know is left from the back of our head. A lot of us have Shikha and don't have Shikha. The Shikha acts as an antenna to the divine cosmic energies that are in the entire universe. They enter us and give us sufficient energy for us to do our daily activities. There is a lot of us think that the energy to do our work, our daily work, comes from the food we eat. True. It is also known scientifically that the food itself that we eat in our food is not sufficient for us to do all our activities. The additional energy that we need activities comes through our Shikha. Shikha is also the location of pineal gland in our brain. This secretes the hormone called melatonin, and melatonin secretion is dictated by light. So the more you go into light, the more we energize in the presence of light, in the presence of sun. And Savita being the god whom we are worshipping here, related to the energies of Savita. So to do this, the fingertips of our hand and place it at the root of Shikha. If you don't have a Shikha, visualize that you have a Shikha in the place and the mantra that has been told here. So the Shikha Vandana process is similar to how a radio connects to a station somewhere far away. Through the process of Shikha Vandana, now we have established a link, or we can say that we have tuned our radio to the station of Savita, receiving the energies from Savita. Receiving the energy itself is not sufficient. Now the energy has to spread all through our body. And the process of spreading the energy all through our body, right up to the fingertips and the toes and the edges of our hair, is called pranayama. The energy or the prana shakti that is coming in from Savita body through 72,000 nadis, and the pranayama is the process of doing spreading this energy and harmonizing the flow and removing all blockages into the path of this energy that is flowing into us. There are various types of pranayama that people do. We all know about Anuloma Viloma, you've heard of Kapalabhati, Bhastrika and all. But the simplest one and the one that is most appropriate here is what is known as Sahaja Pranayama. In Sahaja Pranayama, sit in the posture that is shown here. Keep your back straight and just observe your breath and leave it out. As you do this, observe your body and visually see how the body is getting energized through prana. All chakras and the 7 lokas are energized with this mantra. Now, let's recall what all we have done. We have purified ourselves. Now we are energizing ourselves. We have connected to the energies of Savita. We are getting the energies from him. And we are now propagating this energy all through our body. The next step is to hold these energies in our 5 Jnanendriyas and 5 Karmendriyas. Through these sense and motor organs, the Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas, do we do our daily activities. Now we hold these energies into these specific places where we can use them for daily activities. This process of holding the energy is called Nyasa. And interestingly, the word sannyasi also comes from the word Nyasa. Samyak Nyasaha iti sannyasaha. So it means that one who is able to control his energy well is called a sannyasi. So sannyasi doesn't necessarily mean that somebody who leaves his family and goes away, but one who has his energies under his control. Now the ritual for this is to take water in your left hand, take an achamani of water in your left hand, dip all the 5 fingers into that water and apply it to the organs shown here, first on the left side, then on the right side, from left to right. We go through our mouth, our nostrils, eyes, ears, both the arms and both the thighs, and at the end, take water, the remaining water in both the hands and sprinkle all over yourself for the entire body. The next step, so now we have energized ourselves, we have received the energy and we have stored the energy. Now we start the process of Prithvi Puja. This is, you're receiving the energy from the sun and then you're connecting it to the earth, establishing the complete circuit. Just as electricity supplies that we see have two nodes, one that supplies the energy and the other what we call as the earth, incidentally even there. Similarly, you start receiving the energy from the sun as Savita and then we connect it to the Prithvi. Prithvi or Mother Earth is the entire reason for our sustenance here. Look around you and you will find that everything that we see around us depends on Mother Earth. Everything that we see here, whether it is an automobile or a plane or a car or a food item that we eat or the laptops or the phones that you are using right now, including of course our body, has come from the earth. We come from the earth and we go back to the earth. It is the mother who sustains us. We dig her, we walk on her. But just as a mother loves her children, she takes care of us and protects us. We have to now offer our gratitude to Mother Earth and establish the energetic circuit. Fold both your hands and touch the earth around you and offer your gratitude to Mother Earth. Next is the process of Sankalpa. This is the important time where we announce why we are doing our yajna. What is the goal of this yajna? Any activity that we have to do, there has to be a purpose. We want something, or we want to achieve something, or we want the benefit of something. Anything that we would want to do has to come through the process of Sankalpa. The Sankalpa is very beautifully given by our rishis and it has two parts. One, the time of stating the goal. When are we telling this? And we don't say that now the time is 10:15, that is when we are doing. How can you specify your time a little more accurately? We can say 10:15 on this day or on 21st May, we can say. You can expand it and say 21st May 2017 as per a calendar. But that's what we can do here. But the Indian Sankalpa, the Indian timeline starts from the moment of creation and talks of parardhas. So, and kalpas, manvantaras. So, in which parardha are we? Which kalpa are we? In which manvantara are we taking this? And where are we taking this? We're taking it on the earth, which is Bhuloka. Then we're taking it in Jambudvipa, which is the land mass of India. Bharatavarshe, the country that is India, Bharata Khande. And then we explain this place where we take it. And then we talk year. We don't go by 2017 or 2016. The Indian culture uses the Samvatsara system. So this is Hemalamba Nama Samvatsara. And what is the Masa? So this is Vaishakha Masa. And then Krishna Paksha. And then this is Dashami Titho. And then today is Aditya Vasara or Sunday. With this, then we say, and our name. Our Gotra comes from the time of Rishis. For people who don't have a knowledge of their Gotra, they can choose. Gurudev has explained the works of various Rishis. Every person who does not have a Gotra, that he doesn't know of a Gotra, or even if he knows he wants to change it, work with that specific rishi and follow that rishi. The moment the Gotra identity is not to tell, it tells you what work are you supposed to do in this world. Anybody who's following the Gotra of Yagnavalka will propagate Yagya. So that is how you identify your Gotra, then your name, and then we tell why we are doing this. And then I will come and explain the importance of this mantra.
Om Vishnu Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurushasya Vishnuragya Pravartamanasya Adya Shri Brahmana Tudiye Pararthe Shri Shvetavaraha Kalpe Vaivashvat Manvantare Urloke Jambu Dvipe Bharat Varshe Bharat Khande Arya Vartaik Deshantargate Amuk Kshetre Masanam Masottame Mase Amuk Mase Amuk Pakshe Amuk Tithau Amuk Vasare Amuk Gotropannaha अपने अपने गोत्र का नाम लें। हम अपना अपना नाम लें और यहाँ से आगे पूराते चलें। सत्प्रवृत्ति संवर्धनाय दुष्प्रवृत्ति उन्मूलनाय लोक कल्याणाय आत्म कल्याणाय वातावरण परिष्काराय भविष्योज्ज्वल कामना पूर्तये च प्रबल पुरुषार्थं करिष्ये अस्मै प्रयोजनाय च कलशादि आवाहित देवता पूजन पूर्वकम् अमुक कर्म संपादनार्थम् संकल्पम् अहं करिष्ये Om.
So if you look at the beauty of this sankalpa, wherever the word amuk was used, you replace it with the correct year, month, paksha, tithi and all. After your name comes the word satpravarti samvardhanaya and dushpravarti unmulanaya. Every day people say the world is going bad, the situation is scary. We have to do something to take away all the negativities in the world. But this sankalpa, as given by Param Pujya Gurudev, explains how we can do it. It doesn't say dushpravrti unmulanaya alone. Before that it says satpravrti samvardhanaya, which means developing the noble goods, noble activities is our first goal. If you become noble, hum badalenge yug badalega. Again, even in that saying, we say hum badalenge, we will change first. Similarly, what we are saying here is when the noble thoughts, when good thoughts grow, then what happens? Dushpravrti unmulanaya. The negativities go off on their own. Many times we try to fight the negativities and we wonder why we are not succeeding against them. But the reason we are succeeding, the only way to succeed against negativities or negative forces is to develop our positive energy. Then why are we doing this? Of course, all of us will be doing it for some benefit of ours. But again, the sankalpa given by the rishis says, Loka Kalyanaya, Atma Kalyanaya. Which means that whatever we want first, Atma Kalyanaya, has to be preceded, has to be before that. What should you do? You should ask for Loka Kalyanaya. When the society becomes better, our lives automatically become better. If you ask only for yourself, then that becomes a selfish goal. When you ask for the development or the benefit of the entire society as Loka Kalyanaya, then Atma Kalyana automatically follows through that. Think of the countries that are in the middle of a war. Think of Syria, think of other countries where there is a war every day. Even if a person had acres and acres of land and he has huge buildings that he is not happy today there. He is every day worried about survival and whether he'll live to see the next sunrise. What is the difference there? The man has lot of money, lot of area, but the society is not happy there. He cannot be safe in such a society. Our benefit and our development will happen only when the society develops. That's why the rishis have given it beautifully, saying that first comes Loka Kalyanaya, then comes Atma Kalyanaya, then Vatavarana Parishkaraya. This is to purify the atmosphere. Then Ujjvala Bhavishya Kamana Purtaye, or Bhavishya Ujjvala Kamana Purtaye, depending on the way you say it. For a future, we ask, what are we asking? This is the most important part. We are not asking gods to make our lives better. That is not the purpose of this yajna. We say, Prabala Purushartham Karishye, meaning, I will work to achieve these things. What all are we going to achieve? We'll achieve Satpravrti Samvardhana, Dushpravrti Unmulana, Loka Kalyana, Atma Kalyana, Vatavarana Parishkara. All these gods will not do. We are going to do. That is what it says. The Sankalpa that you're taking says, Prabala Purushartham Karishye. Karishye means I will do. Then why are we invoking all the gods? If I have to do all the work, then why are we invoking the gods here? The reason is the last half of it. Asmai prayojanaaya cha kalashadi avahita devata pujana purvakam. The person who has to stand up to do is us. We have to stand up and say, I will do it. And then invoke the qualities of God to help us achieve it. If we pray to God that, take away my difficulties, make my life better, God will not do it. If you say, I will work to make my life better, help me, then God helps you. So you have to stand up to make your own life, your own society, your own country, your own world better. And then for that, we invoke the blessings of the God. So during the Sankalpa, give flowers and akshata to all the people who are taking the Sankalpa. Flowers we give because flowers spread joy. Anybody who looks at a flower, his mind becomes better for that moment when he sees a flower. Nobody gets upset seeing a flower. Flowers give that joy innately. And you also give akshata. Akshata is a representation of never failing, never reducing activity. So by giving flower and akshata, we are saying that whatever sankalpa that we are taking will be beneficial, will bring joy to the world, and our determination to achieve it will not come down over time. And then after the sankalpa is done, take it to your forehead, touch your forehead with your fist, and then leave it in the plate. This sankalpa is now your goal for life. Even in a corporate world, every year we set our goals, and then the rest of our life in the world company for that year depends on the goal that we set in the beginning. Similarly, the sankalpa that you take today will define the goal that you will be achieving something, and that goal is what you have already defined. In addition to these goals, if you have any specific thing, for example, there is a health problem in your house and you need to ask for better health, add it to the sankalpa before the word Ujjwal Bhavishya Kamana Purteja. So list all your requests, goals, and then take the Sankalpa. Now, when we take Sankalpa, we become very, Sankalpa is so energizing that we feel like we can conquer the entire world. We are fully energized. Remember, we energized ourselves in the beginning of this today's session. Now we are energized, we have taken the goal. Then everybody is in a mood to say that, okay, let me go beat out the world. Let me knock out all the obstacles. That over-excitement is there. So Gurudev gives the next step for this. Is called as Chandana Dharanam. Here we apply Chandan through our ring finger. We take a little Chandan or Roli or Kumkum and apply it to in between our eyebrows. That is the seat of your Agnya Chakra. In the physical body, the Agnya Chakra, place of Agnya Chakra, you have a pituitary gland, and it is a master gland that controls the secretion of all the other glands and secretion. But why Chandan? We all know that Chandan is, or sandalwood paste, is very coolant. People even mix it with milk to cool the body. Now remember, we have been energized, we have taken a goal. We are in the world to say that, come, let someone come, I'll knock him off. Anybody wants to subject me, I'll knock him off. That's not how we have to achieve the goal. We have to achieve the goal with a calm and composed mind. That is why we apply Chandan to our head, to keep our head calm and to keep a cool head. So take a little bit of sandalwood paste with your ring finger and apply it to your forehead. If you're doing it in a samuhik way, where you're doing it in a big, all your society members, let each person apply this to his or her neighbor with this mantra. So now let's recall this process of yajna that we are doing here today is also an indication, a psychological explanation as to how we should achieve our goals even in our daily life. It could be in your company, it could be with your children, it could be with your parents. How we do it? First we need energy, then we need to have a specific goal. Without a goal, our energy gets dissipated in various ways. So you have a goal. Now you have a calm head. Then what do? We'll do the work for a few days. Then our enthusiasm starts coming down. It starts reducing. How do we remember our goal that we have taken to protect us from any obstacles and to remind us every day of the goal that we have taken? We tie the sacred thread to our hand. Married women tie it to their left hand and everybody else ties it to the right hand. This is related to the left and right halves of your brain. Those who use basically a wife or a householder has to run the house using her left brain. She has to organize the money that is there. She has to organize the entire family, and emotion come naturally to her. For everybody else, we develop the right brain, the empathetic side. So married women tie to the left hand, everybody else ties it to the right hand. From this day, whenever you see the kalava or the sacred thread in your hand, you remember the goal that you have taken. This process is the most interesting process of protecting ourselves and taking care of our goals. is invocation of all the various gods and goddesses. To this, where do we invoke them? Whenever we do an yajna or any worship in Indian culture, we have two things always. We have a kalash or a glass filled with water, and we have a lamp. What is the purpose of these two? Why are we using these two? Think that we do it because somebody has done it or because somebody has told us to do. But let us look at how an iron ore goes from being a stone to becoming a bar of iron, or a gold ore becoming into gold. If you look at gold ore, it looks like any other stone and mud. The ore has very small amount of gold in it, but it is predominantly covered with other chemicals, various other elements, and is in the form of a stone. When you have to heat it, the first thing that you do when you have to clean iron ore, for example, or any other ore, you first wash it. When you wash it, all the physical impurities are thrown out. All the dirt and dust around the stone or the ore is washed out. This is the symbolism of keeping water in whenever we do puja. The water is purifying our impurities on our body. And then we need lamp. Just as the purified, cleaned iron ore now, which is a nice looking stone, you don't get iron from it still. What do? You put it into a blast furnace. You throw it into immense heat. In the presence of that heat, all the unwanted chemicals now burn and melt away and evaporate and get out. Once you have washed your ore, remove the impurities and put it into the blast furnace, then you get your purified iron. Similarly, for us, now that we have energized, we have to invoke the divine energies. Remember, we have taken the Sankalpa to achieve our goal, and we need the help of the divine energies to support us. To do this, we now invoke the purification. We have to first purify our body and mind. To purify our body, just as in the case of iron ore, we first invoke water or Varuna. Varuna or water also has the power of Parjanya, the ability to sprout new things. So we first invoke Varuna and then we worship the Kalash into it. We invoke the power of water or Varuna into us, and now we invoke the various gods into the Kalash. know that there is a kalash in front of us which has water. If you notice it carefully, we don't fully fill it with water. We fill it only about 3/4 of it with water. Interestingly, the main kalash that we have to use in this yagya is our own body. Our own body also is made of 70% of water, just as the kalash. So the kalash is actually a symbolic representation of our human body. So when you do the Kalasha Prarthana, you invoke the divine energies not into a kalash that is sitting outside, but the kalash which is your body. So during this Kalasha Prarthana, we sit with our back straight and with our hands folded, invoking the various gods and identifying where they sit in our body.
ॐ कलशस्य मुखे विष्णुः कण्ठे रुद्रः समाश्रितः मूले तस्य स्थितो ब्रह्मा मध्ये मातृगणा स्मृताः कुक्षौ तु सागराः सर्वे सप्तद्वीपावसुन्धराः ऋग्वेदोऽथ यजुर्वेदः सामवेदो यथर्वणः सहिताः सर्वे कलशन्तु समाश्रिताः अत्र गायत्री सावित्री शान्तिपुष्टिकरी सदा त्वयि तिष्ठन्ति भूतानि त्वयि प्राणाः प्रतिष्ठिताः शिवः स्वयं त्वमेवासि विष्णुस्त्वं च प्रजापतिः आदित्यावसवो रुद्रा विश्वे देवाः सपैत्रिकाः तिष्ठन्ति सर्वेऽपि यतः कामफलप्रदाः त्वत्प्रसादादिमं यज्ञं कर्तुमीहे जलोद्भव सान्निध्यं कुरु मे देव प्रसन्नो भव सर्वदा प्रसन्नो भव सर्वदा.
So we have taken our personality, which is like an iron ore that you find everywhere, and then we are now purifying it with water so that it becomes capable of invoking and holding those divine energies. Remember, our personality ordinarily is not capable of holding divine energies because of the lifestyle that we do, because of our own limitations that we have. And when your personality or your body or your mind cannot hold the energies, even if you invoke the energies won't come to you. If you try to get electricity connection to your house, you use a thick copper wire to get the electricity into you. Before giving electricity connection to your house, the engineer comes in, takes a look at the wiring that you have, and only when he is convinced that he has the electricity connection that you have, the wiring that you have done is capable of handling that electricity, will you get the connection. Without checking if the high voltage is connected to the house, if without proper wiring, it can cause more damage than harm. That's why divine energies don't come just because we plead, just because we beg. Divine energies don't come. Divine energies are willing to come always, but they don't come to us because our body and mind does not have the capacity to hold them. They are actually helping us by not coming down. If they had come down, then they would cause more damage to us. So the Kalasha Prarthana and the Deepa Pujana process is done before the invocation of all the gods, before the Deva Vahana process. That is because with these two, our personality, which was like an iron ore or a gold ore, can become like gold now. In that, the capacity increases to hold the divine energies, and the energies can happily come in. So with the Deepa Pujana, now removing of the impurities, now we go to the next step of Deepa Pujana. Agni and water have interestingly two opposing qualities. Fire can be put off with water, right? But water always, if you see, goes from top to bottom. Whereas fire always goes from bottom to top. The other symbolism, the Indian philosophy is rich with symbolisms. If we keep talking about this, it's so beautiful that there are so many symbolisms that the rishis fit in, that Param Puji Gurudev has fit in this process of Agnya. While water and Deepak are symbolism of purification, they are also symbolism of, just as water flows from the top of a mountain to the plains to help the people, our life should be such that as we grow, we should help people below us. And Agni is always energetic. There is always energy in fire and always is upward looking. And you try to cover Agni, put your hand or a plate on top of the flame, it comes from the side. It cannot be forced down easily. And it continues to glow and provide light to everybody else. The lamp doesn't say that the light is only for itself, but it's for everybody else. So we now invoke Agni to purify us as well as give us the upward looking mindset. Now we have purified ourselves, we have increased our capacity of our personality to invoke the divine energies, and then we gods. Invocation is by offering gratitude, and we invoke the various gods and goddesses. The Indian system of gods and goddesses is at times, to a external person, becomes very confusing. Talk of a single god. Even Indian Sanatana Dharma also talks of a single god. But what is all this? You've heard of 33 crore gods and goddesses. Who are these? The rishis developed a way of utilizing the different aspects of that one god for specific purposes. This is the reason for the plurality of devatas in Indian culture. Let's take an example. The example of electricity. Electricity is the energy that drives most of the equipments in your house. There is only one electricity, but we use the electricity in different ways. For example, we use a heater or a geyser to get heat, or to heat water or heat the room. At the same time, we use the refrigerator to cool things. We use air conditioning to cool the air. The same electricity, remember. But in one aspect is giving out heat, in the other aspect it's taking away heat. Electricity can give us light. The same electricity can be used to lift objects. It can be used to dig earth. It can be, of course, used to communicate with the use of phones and laptops and internet. Electricity is used. Are we saying that the heat and the cold are all different from electricity? No, they are all derived from the same electricity. Just because you have an electricity connection, you can do only so many things. You also need the different aspects of electricity, of the energy, to achieve a specific goal. You can't take a heater and expect your room to become cool. Use a light to cool the room. This was what our rishis understood, and they developed the plurality of gods and goddesses, identifying that the infinite energy of the God has all the things that one needs to lead a harmonious life with nature. So by seeking out those energies that you need, by somebody, we know that when we go to goddess Lakshmi, we know what we ask for. We ask for wealth. When we go to goddess Saraswati, we ask for knowledge. So we know that just as you cannot go to an electricity office and ask for a water connection, these gods and goddesses have a specific energy and specific power to help us, to guide us. So we invoke each of these devatas to achieve the specific aspects of achieving our goal. Remember, before we understand invocation, let's see what all we have done. We have purified ourselves, we have energized ourselves, we have increased our capacity to hold these divine energies. Remember, we have also taken the Sankalpa, our goal. We now have tied the Kalava to remind ourselves every day as to what we do, what we have to do. But how do we proceed? How do we put that first step? We need somebody to guide us to put the first step, because the first step, the direction in which we put the first step, determines the road that we take. And the divine energy that provides us, that shows us the path, that lightens the darkness around us, is Guru. Whenever in our life we come across somebody or some book or some TV series, for example, that can inspire us and provide guidance to us, that moment we have to realize that it is the power of the Guru who is that is operating there and who is guiding us there. The Gurudev says, "Main vyakti nahi shakti hu." So Gurudev will not come in his physical form to guide us all the time. He comes in various forms. He is that energy of guidance. Before we invoke anything else, we need to now take the first step to achieving our goal, and the person who guides us is our Guru. So we first invoke Guru.
गुरुरेव महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरम् तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मातृवत् लालयित्री च पितृवत् मार्गदर्शिका नमोऽस्तु गुरुसत्तायै
Now, the Guru has shown us the path and we have to walk on it. Remember, we said Prabala Purushartham Karishye. That means we have to walk. The Guru will not walk for you. The Guru will guide the path and we have to walk. And when we walk on this, we have to take decisions. Any activity, let's say you want to build a house. Somebody shows you the path, but then you'll be surrounded with questions. Should I buy land and build a house? Should I buy a flat? What should be the size? What is the thing to do? If you're thinking about a children's education, what should he study? What should she not study? She's interested in music? Is she interested in dance? All these questions require us to take decisions. And decision is taken not with our mind, but with our buddhi. Intellect is the one that gives us the ability to take decisions, and sadbuddhi is that guides us to the correct decision. And who is the devata of sadbuddhi? To enable us to take the right decision, it is Gayathri. We have seen in the previous classes how Gayathri is the deity that provides us with sadbuddhi, the right ability to take decisions. We invoke Gayathri. Fold your hands and invoke the energy into you.
वेद माता, विश्व माता, सद्ज्ञान सद्भाव की अधिष्ठात्री माँ गायत्री का आवाहन करें।
ॐ आयातु वरदे देवी रक्षणे ब्रह्मवादिनी गायत्री छन्दसां मातः ब्रह्मयोने नमोऽस्तुते। ॐ श्री गायत्र्यै नमः। आवाहयामि स्थापयामि ध्यायामि ततो नमस्कारं करोमि। ॐ सुतामया वरदा वेदमाता प्रचोदयन्तां भावमानी द्विजानाम् आयुः प्राणं प्रजां पशुं कीर्तिं द्रविडं धर्मवर्चसं मह्यं दत्त्वा व्रजत ब्रह्मलोकं माम्।
We invoked Gayatri with Ayatu Varade Devi, and then we pray to her to give a lot of things. Gurudev says in one place that most of us don't even know what to pray. Our prayers are so small, so finicky, that it looks, when you have the Veda Mata, Deva Mata, Vishwa Mata standing in front of you, do you go ask her that, make my son pass this exam? Or do you ask her to give a good wife for your son? You don't ask these things. When you ask, of course you can ask and you will get those. But the rishis, when in the presence of the divine, they ask things that are bountiless. What did we ask here? We asked for ayuhu. Life, long life, pranam, energy. If you have a long life but you're bedridden, what's the use? You need the prana. Prana Shakti is needed. You are energetic, you are living a long life, then you need prajam, your people, your family around you. Otherwise, you lead a sad, lonely, long, energetic life. Pashum, all the Pashu represents not only to animals, but all the comforts around life. Kirtan, fame. You are surrounded by your family, but everybody would love to be famous. So you ask for Kirti. Then you ask for Dravina, wealth, so that you can help the society. You ask for wealth. And then we ask for Brahma Varchasa, that infinite knowledge of the Parabrahman we ask. That is what you ask when you have the Vedamata, Devamata and Vishwamata in front of us. We'll pause here. Let's recollect what we did today. We had purified, then energized, then increased our capacity, and then we offered our gratitude to, we purified again ourselves to increase our capacity with water and fire, then we invoked Guru and Gayathri into our body. We'll pause here and we'll take any questions if you have. If you have any questions, you can ask as part of the WhatsApp group. Okay. Question is, when we consider man and woman equal, then why are we supposed to tie Raksha Sutra in the left hand in case of married women? When it is differentiated, it doesn't mean that the differentiation is always bad. Tying Raksha Sutra to your left hand doesn't mean tying to the right hand is not great, tying to the left hand is not great. Imagine a mother who runs the house. When she runs the house, what all does she have to do? Empathy comes to women naturally. They are all empathetic, they are sympathetic, and they take care of the family automatically. But what they also need to run the family properly is a logical reasoning to run the family. A mother in a house takes care of, not only she resolves fights between children, she resolves fights between different family members. She is the person who takes care of everybody. She also has to manage the household. And this cannot be done only if you're emotional always. This is the reason why we are tying it to the left hand, to symbolize that she is the one who is controlling the entire household and who is managing the household. It is not to say that she is any inferior to man. Okay. Another question that has come is about usage of yellow clothes. In Gayatri Parivar, when we do Yagna, we typically recommend that we use yellow clothes, that people wear yellow, and then we apply tika and all that. The question was, what if people don't want to do it? To answer that, I came in my t-shirt today. Remember that these rules apply to people who are parijans. Going out and reaching to people, it is important that we encourage. The reason why we insist on Indian clothes is because so that we develop a respect towards our Indian culture and Indian clothing. But that is not the goal, the complete goal of Gayatri Mantra or Gayatri Yagna. Remember, our process is to link people with Gayatri. When foreigners come to Shanti Kunj, they wear Indian clothes, but those are people who are already appreciative and who have respect towards Indian culture. But when you are going out to people, and if there are people who get put off if you say that wear yellow clothes, you don't put too many restrictions. Let people come. What is most important is that they need to be connected with this goal. Once they're connected, then they can go adding new things. Again, I'll take an example of the electricity connections. The electricity connection, for example, if you need an electricity, they'll just come and check if you have wiring done. They don't check if you have a refrigerator, if you have a TV, if you have a heater. Those are not important, but you need them for a comfortable life. Similarly, all these Indian clothes, yellow, applying tika or tilak, color, everything is important once you get the connectivity. First, connect people, provide them the connection with Gayatri and Savita, and then automatically other things will follow. Do not stop people or make the restrictions so difficult that people don't even want to come and join us. I think we have reached the time today. Okay. Jai Gurudev. We will pause for today. Jai Guru.